Charles Walhingford back again with another distilled aged spirits review, and today we are reviewing an American whiskey, a rye or a Kentucky straight rye. I didn't know that was an actual thing, only because I don't drink rye. I'm not up on ryes. I avoid ryes like the plague, and this is my first time having a rye here in my out of all the things I have with my cognac, with my single malt scotch, bourbon, rum, all that. This is the first time I've ever had rye, the only rye that's in this house. Why is that? Well, we'll get to why that is in a second. Let me introduce you to Wilderness Trail Rye. So let's go over some details. This is a 5-year aged rye. This says it's a 2-barrel cuvee in warehouse B, a yeast strain 921. Not sure what all that means as far as the last bit, but 5 years, that we're familiar with that. Small batch, straight Kentucky rye. The alcohol by volume is 52.36, which is a proof of 104.73. Let me read what we have on the side. It's known as a sweet mash, made from old traditional mash bill of corn, rye, and malted barley. From a copper column distilled from a single fermented batch using our sweet mash process. This rye whiskey was curated to highlight the robust flavors only found in whiskey straight from the barrel. Nothing added, nothing taken away. All right, we're going to have something special, I guess. Again, this is my first time having a rye, my first time dealing with Wilderness Trail. Now, why is this my first time having a rye and I have all these different bottles of distilled aged spirits? I never liked rye. When I was in Angel Share looking around trying to find something, the associates there let me taste quite a few different distilled aged spirits, and we did a couple blind. And when I did a blind of this particular rye, I liked it. Now, I didn't have a lot, and this is my first time opening this in period. So this is my first time having this right in front of you in my house. I did have a little small sample at the liquor store, Angel Share. So shout out to all the associates and friends at Angel Share. So check them out in Gambrills, Maryland. I've talked about them before, but let's keep moving forward. I think we're going to have something really nice, and let's go ahead and get started, because what you want to know is how good is it, or why is it good, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that gets you, like it should, and we're going to talk about it in that order, but it gets you as soon as you open it up, is the scent. And I was very, very, very taken aback, because I don't like ryes, but how much I enjoyed the scent, and I couldn't identify that it was a rye. I've had ryes before, and I found them all repulsive. So with our first glance or first sniff, the first thing that's going to come out is that rye minty, almost astringent cough medicine hit. It's not repulsive, but you will have that, especially with a brand new bottle like this. And then if you allow yourself to go a little bit deeper, you're picking up notes that you would pick up from a bourbon. As you know, bourbon and ryes are pretty much cousins. maybe even closer cousins, first cousins, maybe even brother and sister. Because if you dial back the rye, you basically have a bourbon. It is very difficult to get past that minty note and then really delve into what bourbon notes you have. I'm trying. There's some sweetness there. You know, that corn sweetness is coming through just a little bit, but you try to look for things, common things like a cinnamon or a brown sugar or things like that, and I'm not getting that. All right, let's go with the first taste. Before I get started with the first taste, I will say part of the reason why I chose to actually buy this is because I had something that went on in my mouth, and I was like, am I tasting cognac and Armagnac? Yeah, I thought I was drinking some kind of weird cognac or Armagnac. I knew it wasn't cognac and Armagnac, but that's what I tasted. Let's see what I taste now. Yes, it is as if I had a little tiny bit of cognac splashed into bourbon and then finished with rye. That rye, because nothing else tastes like rye but rye. But that rye is in the back. It's the third or fourth or fifth thing you taste. It's not the first thing you taste, because most ryes that I did not like, the first thing that hits you is the rye. Then that bourbon type profile will come in the back end. Actually, the rye portion is coming in the back end, which makes me like it. But on the forefront, it's like I'm having bourbon and cognac at the same time. I like bourbon, I like cognac. I don't like rye, but I think I like this. Let me go in again. What I do pick up is the wood. I am picking up definitely the oakiness. It definitely has an oakiness to it. And then that aftertaste of rye is there, but it's not repulsive. It's just, I just have something different than all the rest of the things that's in here. And man, I enjoy it. I really enjoy this. And to say that I thought I had cognac or Armagnac, that's that great raisin profile, that rum raisin profile, and then the brown sugar of bourbon and the corn of bourbon, all at the same time, almost at the same time. Is it layers or is it all at the same time? Let me see. It's actually, the first hit is cognac. The stronger profile is the bourbon, and third comes in the rye. So if you enjoy just the sipping, just the fun of having a distilled aged spirit, because if you're anything like me, you're not drinking this to get drunk. Getting a buzz, getting that fuzzy feeling is secondary for me, or even tertiary. The first thing for me is the exploratory portion, the getting to understand and finding all the flavors and enjoying all the flavors and having those distinct or subtle changes in your mouth when you're drinking, and it's fun. It's a fun thing, and this is absolutely, this is something fun to drink. This is actually fun. I'm so surprised that I actually like a rye. I have had other ryes and they were absolutely repulsive to me. And they were good ryes too. I believe I had the Angel's Envy and I had another one. I can't remember what it was. But they were almost all the same response where I didn't like it at all. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a try with some water. We'll see what takes place. Now, I will tell you that with a 52% alcohol by volume, it is very smooth. It is very smooth for only 5 years old and having such a high alcohol by volume. The burn on this is so minuscule for such a high ABV. We're gonna add, let's see here, how much do I have here? I think I have maybe ½ ounce, not a full shot, maybe a little bit more than a ½ ounce. We're gonna add a teaspoon of water. See what that does. See if anything comes out, if it's any brighter or any easier to drink. If anything, I would say I knocked out some of the rye, but no, the rye is still on the on the finish. That cognac, Armagnac is there. That brandy is there still. It seems like it's more dominant now. Or more dominant than it was. Now, it didn't really need to add water, but to add water will actually stretch out your bottle there, and it does well with water. Yeah, that's not bad. I didn't get anything that opened up. It didn't open up, but it didn't lose anything either. All right, let's give it the score. A score of 1 to 5. 5 is buy a case of it and don't tell anybody. 4 is always keep it on hand because it's just that damn good. 3 is it was very good, highly recommended. 2, good, probably wouldn't buy it again. And 1, I don't even make a video about it. So what would I give this? I would maybe give this a 3.5 to 3.5. 3.5, that's where I want to put it. I like it a lot. I could see buying this again. I highly recommend it. If I don't have it all the time, it's not going to be a big deal, but I will take some time drinking this. I do enjoy this. Now, if you like watching my videos, and if you've seen me before, and you've been watching me for a while, you know what I like to do. I like to do cigar pairings. And you're going to see a cigar pairing with this real soon. Unfortunately, you're not going to see it on YouTube. YouTube has not been too kind to me when I do my cigar content, so you need to go over to Rumble and see a cigar pairing with this particular distilled aged spirit. Wow, I am very happy to what I have here, and I would love for you to try it too. Trust me, it's a good one. Wilderness Trail Rye is how I would spend my money.